Every society clings to a myth by which it lives. Ours is the myth of economic growth. For the last 5 decades, the pursuit of growth has been the single most important policy goal across the world. The global economy is 5 times the size it was half a century ago. If it continues to grow at the same rate, it will be 80 times that size at least by the year 2100. This extraordinary ramping up of global economic activity is without historical precedent. It's totally at odds with the finite resource base and the fragile ecology in which we depend for survival. And it's already been accompanied by the degradation of an estimated 60% of the world's ecosystems. Most of the time, we avoid the stark reality of these numbers. Growth must go on, we insist. Accumulate, accumulate. That is Moses and the prophets, as Marx put it. Not just for the sake of the poorest countries where, heaven knows, a better quality of life is desperately needed, but even in the affluent West, where rampant consumerism already threatens the fabric of our society. The reasons for this collective blindness are easy enough to find. Western capitalism is structurally reliant on growth for its stability. When growth falters, as it has done recently, politicians panic, businesses struggle to survive. People lose their jobs and sometimes their homes. A spiral of recession looms. Questioning growth is deemed to be the act of lunatics, idealists and revolutionaries. Yet question it we must. The myth of growth has failed us. It's failed the 2 billion people who still live on less than $2 a day. It's failed spectacularly, even in its own terms, to provide economic stability and secure people's livelihoods. But economic crisis presents us with a unique opportunity to invest in change, to sweep away the short-term thinking that's plagued society for decades, to engage, for instance, in a radical overhaul of dysfunctional capital markets. Untrammeled speculation in commodities and financial derivatives brought the financial world to the brink of collapse just 3 years ago. It needs to be replaced by a longer, slower sense of capital. Solid investments in lasting assets, in clean, low-carbon technologies, in health and education, in good quality housing and efficient transport systems, in public buildings and open spaces, investment in the future of our communities. Enterprise, too, is due for an overhaul. Relentless profiteering at the expense of the taxpayer is simply immoral. The invisible hand of the market has to be tamed in the service of people. We also have to confront the convoluted logic of consumerism. The days of spending money we don't have on things we don't need to impress people we don't care about are over. Living well is about good nutrition, decent homes, access to good quality services, stable communities, satisfying employment. Prosperity, in any meaningful sense of the word, transcends material concerns. It resides in our love for our families, the support of our friends, the strength of our communities, our ability to participate fully in the life of society. The challenge is to create the conditions that make this possible.